Welcome, Town Visit Tuesdays with LoraleeLiving, and today my guest is Troy Beasley with Beasley and Henley Interiors. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Hey, my pleasure.
How are you doing today?
So far, good.
Good.
It's Monday, but you're doing this Tuesday, so I should have said it's Tuesday, but.
No, it's all good. I'm actually doing Mondays and Tuesdays right now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
So,
just because of the situation we're in.
yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to get the week kicked off and started, and it's been a great weekend, and the weather's awesome, so can't complain.
Good. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So, tell us about how Beasley and Henley got started.
Long story, try to make it short. So my background, so Stephanie and I are partners. Her background is more finance and marketing, and so she handles the business management side of the company. I handle the creative side. My background is in design. I have a degree in interior design. I started out actually wanting to be a musician, and went to school, studied classical guitar, played 3 years guitar, saxophone, and realized that I'd probably start being a musician. So came home, and I don't know, some light bulb went off at 24, and I just saw a sign that said interior design, enroll now, and I thought, hey, it looked cool, and I went in and did that, and signed up for college, and 4 years later graduated, was hired, had an internship, was hired by a local developer here in Winter Park, worked there for a couple of years, and then decided to start this. Stephanie and I were actually dating at the time, believe it or not. Our parents said, you guys are crazy, and we were, but we didn't know any better at the time, so.
Sometimes that's the best way to start things. You don't know any better, and you just do it.
And so Stephanie said to me one day, it's like, why don't we start our own design firm? And I was like, but we never wanted to work together, or, because our parents did, both sets of parents.
Oh.
We saw that, their life was nothing about work, and, but that's okay. We did it. Here we are. It's been 27 years now, going on 27 years.
Wow.
I guess it's working.
I guess so. In many ways, right?
Yeah.
In many ways. You guys got married and have kids, and you have a business together after 27 years.
Yeah, 3 children. Somehow managed to survive it all. And COVID-19 and the downturn in 2000 and 2010, 8, 9, 10, whatever it was. And here we are. We're still fighting.
Yeah.
Winning daily, but it's all good.
That's awesome. So I see some of your designs behind you.
Yeah, I've got a few things on the walls. Yeah. Thanks. A little
Beautiful.
bit of this, that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, what do your clients say about you? Local. I know. So Troy's in Winter Park, Florida, and I know you also do work outside of Winter Park, outside of Florida, even.
We do. Yeah. Started here, and started in multifamily housing years ago. So some people out there don't know that we actually do residential. The people that know us in the commercial side of business design don't know we actually do residential, and the residential clients don't actually know that we do really the commercial side sometimes. So they're always, you always hear from different people as well. I didn't know you guys did that as well. But so we do a lot of work in Florida, of course, but we started working a little over 20 years ago in Naples, and mainly in the residential sector there, because it's just a nice place to do homes, obviously, and and have been there ever since. We have an office there. It's more of a satellite office, marketing type place where I go and meet clients. It's been great for that, and I just travel back and forth as needed. But we also work outside of Florida, really all over the United States. I mean, we've gone as far as San Diego and California,
Wow.
and yeah, and Calgary. Right now, we're wrapping up a project in Calgary, so we've all over the place, Boston and Charlotte and Atlanta and all the way down to Miami and up to kind of Pensacola and Jacksonville area.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
we get around. Yeah, it's
Yes,
nice.
you do.
Yeah, both commercially and private client wise.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get pulled, developers will work with us like us here, do a project in Florida. Next thing you know, we're in Atlanta or the Carolinas or wherever. So we'll just go wherever. We like to travel. It's fun. It's
That's
easy.
nice. That makes
Yeah.
it exciting, right?
It is. It's fun.
Interesting.
Different markets, be able to kind of tap in, get a feel for how they do things maybe a little differently, what the climate's like and what the attitude is in the community. And then, you kind of decide for that commercially. And then, of course, residentially, it's the same person, just in a different region. So it's different style of architecture, but pretty much the same format as far as that goes. So.
And on your residential side, I'm sure that's pretty intimate relationship because really got to get to know who they are and what they like and develop the design according to their personality.
No, that's exactly right. I'm fortunate I've been able to kind of, I'm a good quick study, I think, when it comes to getting into people's heads and knowing what they like, what they don't like. And of course, a lot of these homes that we do are larger. They take anywhere from a year and a half to 2-3 years to go through the design process. So a lot of it is construction related in the beginning and material selections, interior architectural detailing and design and specifications. So, by the time we work through all that, it could sometimes be a year and a half before we even start talking about actually furnishing the house.
Okay.
Artwork and, accessories, drapery, area rugs, furniture, everything. And by then we've gotten to know them very well, obviously. And, but yeah, and every client's different. Everybody has their little quirks and needs and wants and desires. And so, we try to get in there and fulfill it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, do you have a favorite project, residential project?
I tell you, it keeps me out of trouble, but it's also the truth. My favorite project is generally the one that I'm currently working on at the time because my head's so into it, and it just kind of envelops me and sucks me right in, and I give it my all, and so therefore, yeah, it's my favorite. So at the time, that's generally my favorite project. Same thing with commercial projects. Get involved in all of them, but when I get deep. I kind of get obsessed with it. So
That's awesome. Such a passion for what you do.
yeah, it's never a dull moment. It's always fun. So I don't think I tell people this, and it's the truth, that I've never really woken up and said, gosh, I don't want to go to work today, because to me, it's not really work. It's, I just love it. It is a passion.
You aren't working. You're making a living doing what you love to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate that I can do that. I'm blessed, very blessed. So,
Very blessed. Yes.
yep.
Amazing. And your work is amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, you're welcome. So talented.
Thank you.
So, what do you do in the community to give back?
So years ago, I mean, we certain charities, one of which is near and dear to Stephanie and I, is the Children's Home Society.
Okay.
We donate funds every year. When they have special projects, we've helped them with the design work, from the standpoint of material selections and specifications and layout design and even some furnishings. And we've gone and purchased bedding and things like that for the kids.
Oh, nice.
That's one thing, and again, very near and dear to us. Another thing, there's the homeless shelter we've gone and worked at and had times when we've given to that. We've also, I'm actually on the board, the advisory board at Seminole State College, where I went to school. So for the interior design program, and so I give time for that. Not
Nice.
as much time as I would like to, but I think every little bit helps.
Yes.
So we give back any way that we can. We like to, and we're at that point where we're able to do so.
Very nice. How are you pushing through COVID? I know you guys have had your office is still open throughout, and I know we've had some openings in the last week in the Orlando area or actually Florida. But throughout, how have you managed?
Uh, it's been interesting, needless to say, for everybody out there. Fortunately we have a good sized building that we work in. We have 21 people here. 5 of those people actually do nothing but CAD drawings and designs for the projects that we're working on at any given time. So we were able to set them up remotely from
Oh,
home
nice.
and allow them to, just kind of work from home. So that's worked out really well, which thinned out, part of the office staff. And then there are a few others that we basically had told everybody and anybody that if you feel like you need to work from home, let us know. We'll do what we can to set you up. And we did that. It's kind of hard as the interior designer part to pick materials and specifications and things like that. I see you have a friend.
I do
And,
have a friend. I've been trying to push her down, but she's just
she's
adamant
not,
to come up.
but so we've had alternating days too, where somebody would come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Somebody would come in, Thursday and Tuesday.
Oh,
And so
that's
it's
nice.
allowed us to kind of keep our distance, right? But still be in the building. I've been here every day. Stephanie's been here every day. We've just been separating, and some people have worn masks that have, elderly parents at home and things like that have concerns. And a lot of those people have been, got a few parents that are, few staff that are parents and they're home with their kids because their kids are out of school. So, that's been obviously challenging for them. But we've pushed through, and today, most everybody's back. Actually, as of today, there's still
Okay.
one that are working remotely, but everybody was kind of antsy and anxious to get back in. We still have a lot of distance between us. We're going around wiping everything down still. We actually had our own mask made, but I don't happen to have one right now with me. But we're doing everything that we can. It's been interesting, as I said, been a little challenging, and but we're here and make the best of it and keep going.
And clients have continued to call, and it doesn't stop them from wanting to interact and get their houses done or even commercial projects.
No, it's been a little different, a little not level two, where we've had a couple, like 2 weeks ago, we had our first kind of go-to meeting with a residential client. Tends to work better if you're face-to-face with a residential client because it's a lot of really personal interaction. It's a little more near and dear to their heart, where if you've got a commercial client, they're not so emotionally tied to the project. I mean, it doesn't mean that it means any less to them, and but at the same time, we have done more of those just in the past before all this happened, that we could do go-to meetings that way with presentations and such. But it was interesting to do it for the first time with a residential client, walk through their set of documents. It was more about the drawing side. It's a little easier than furniture and fabrics, but it went very well. I mean, a 2-hour meeting, but it was all good. And then the commercial clients, yeah, everybody's still calling. They're out there. We've gotten a couple of new projects in. Actually,
Nice.
we've had 1 or 2 commercial projects go on hold. We've got one residential person that's they're heavily involved in their business, so they're trying to kind of manage the COVID-19 thing. So they've kind of said, "Hey, give us a couple of weeks to get through this, and then we'll jump back in." So we've been fortunate that things have kind of kept moving across. So
Very nice.
yeah,
I'm sure it is a challenge, especially with the residential. Um, I guess probably getting the interaction in person versus on Zoom or
it,
whatever you're using.
yeah, we kind of work in a sometimes because it's a artistic endeavor, right? You're working in an area with which there's a lot of shades of gray, and a lot of things can be interpreted one way or the other. And it's helpful to sit in front of somebody and explain things and talk about texture and form, and not just about one color or two colors or something like that. There's a lot more to it. There are layering, a lot of layers that go into what we do, and a lot easier to explain and talk through creatively and with a client about that, and help them understand, because if they're a lot of them, they might look at something a little unsure, but if they hear why and the process that went behind it, and the fact that I did think of A, B, C before I got to D, those kind of things, it all makes it easier face to face for sure. So.
Nice. And the texture, I'm sure touching and feeling and having the
Yeah,
product there
yeah, yeah,
it's tangible.
yeah, big time. Even for me, I've been doing this, almost 30 years before, starting the firm. I was doing it, but I still won't approve finishes unless I have an actual sample in my hand of something, because you never know. Things look one way on the screen, and then if I'm responsible for the way something's going to look, and I'm putting all these things together, then I need to really make sure that the texture's right, the color's right, the color variables are taken into consideration. And there's a lot that goes into that: time of day, the type of lighting, everything. So it's a lot to think about. Things.
So true.
Yeah.
So much detail in the specifications of the
Yeah.
whole package, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to do on a computer screen. So
Makes it a little challenging for sure.
yeah.
So it's great that we have this, though, this technology. Man, if this was
Yeah,
20 years ago,
I
what
know.
would we have done?
I know. A lot, wouldn't they? Yep.
It's amazing. So
It is.
at least we do have some interaction, but I understand that in person, there's nothing that can replace that.
No, that's true.
Especially for certain things, you just gotta be in person.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
So, all right. So is there anything else that you'd like to share about your firm or a project or anything?
Well, firm-wise, I mean, I can tell you a little bit about what we do from A to Z. We've gotten into model merchandising over the years. Most of the homes start at $1 million and go up from there to 15, 20 million. Private client, they're all over the board. Again, most of them, private client homes start at 3 million and go up. And we've done full renovations to brand new construction, and love both. I mean, they're both challenging in their own right. And it's great to interact with the private client because it is so rewarding. It's their home, and good design can really change, I think, the way that somebody perceives their space and their interior and their home and their living environment, the way that they work and live and function and celebrate. And it's nice for me to think that, hey, I can work with a client. I can give them what they want. I can design according to, their taste in the end. Maybe they don't know how to put it together creatively, and I can add that flair
Mm-hmm.
and special moments so that,
Oop,
and,
I lost
kind
you
of
a bit there.
enjoy. Oh yeah. Yep. Somebody tried calling my phone, I think. And so,
Oh, okay.
okay.
So I
Did you
don't know if
lose,
I missed something you said.
did you lose the verbal as well?
Yeah, I did. Just went
Uh-oh.
to said iPad.
Uh,
He'll be right back.
Are we back?
Here we go.
Are we back?
We're back.
Sorry,
That's okay.
sorry about that. So I was
It
saying
happens.
that, on a personal level, it's nice to be able to design for somebody kind of creatively so that they have a home that's finished and complete and they can spend, good quality time with their kids or grandkids, whatever it happens to be. There's a lot of memories to be made in your home. It's where we spend all of our time when we're not at work, typically, and it's where you get the kids up in the morning, you bathe them, you read to them, and you give them a kiss and put them to bed at night. And then, when they grow old and leave and hopefully they come back with their children, you do the same thing with your grandchildren. So a lot of birthdays, a lot of anniversaries, there's a lot of stuff that happens in your home. And I feel fortunate that I can be a part of that, initially by helping somebody design something that they've always, wanted and are willing and able to do that. And then commercially, same thing. It's a different end user for different reasons, but it's fun to sit back and kind of watch people interact in a commercial space that you've designed. And I have 3 other design teams that work with me. Each team is composed of, a lead designer and an assistant, and then an project expediter that orders and follows up on merchandise to make sure it all comes in on time. A lot of people think design is a hobby. It's not, as a business, and so you have to run it very tightly. And there's a lot of variables to what we do. So we've put a formula together and worked it out over the years. And I mentioned earlier, I've got 5 people that do nothing but drawing. So with 21 people here in the office, we're just busy little ants running all over the building, But probably have 60 plus projects going on right now. And
Oh, wow.
seems like a lot is a lot, but fortunately they come and go at different times, different stages. So I think the more we do, the better it is, because I think we all thrive on just the energy of the time frames and everything that we have to conform to and with, and then all the design nuances that go with it and all the material specifications and everything. So it's a lot, but everybody here plays really well in the sandbox, and nobody has an ego except me. And mine's not that big, but I think it's good to have an ego, though, because you
You
always
got
want
to
to
have somewhat, right?
you always have to want to outdo yourself. I mean, and that's
Yes.
what keeps you, going, and what drives you to the point of, trying to reach perfection, which may never reach, but I'll keep striving for that. So
It's more of an excellence, right? You're
no,
reaching for excellence.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And fortunate that, I think all of our clients have said that even though we design in so many different ways, stylistically speaking, because a lot of the residential side is based on their particular format, their particular form, and their eye and their style. And commercially, it's just depends on the region and what's being built and who you're appealing to on that level. But no matter what we do and what design we work with and for, I think the end result is always the same, in that it's well balanced, it's well colored, it's well designed, it's on a residential side, it's very comfortable, and it's very livable. People don't feel like they have walked to a museum, and that's they want a nice home. They want it to look elegant, sophisticated, but they want to be able to entertain. They don't want to have to worry about their grandkids or their kids running through it and not being able to sit down. So I think we've done a great job over the years of kind of capturing all the wants and needs of clients and fulfilling their expectations for all those things.
That's nice.
Yeah, it makes me happy. So
I'm sure it's got to be so fulfilling. Excuse me, when you're complete, and even over the years, keeping in touch and hearing about what they're doing, or Even going
Yeah,
back, I don't know if you go back and do
yeah,
remodels years later.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much every residential client I have, I'm doing something, or a year will go by and I might not hear from them, and then it's time to freshen up or do something in this room or that room, or 5 years will go by and it's like, or 10 years, and then they'll be like, well, let's just redo everything. So I've
Or
done that too. So it's nice.
nice,
It's nice.
very cool. I really appreciate you coming and taking your time with me.
Absolutely.
It's been awesome. I
Well,
love hearing
thanks.
about your business
Thank you. Thank
and all that you're doing.
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you?
They can, I always tell people to hit the website first, because if they're interested in interviewing designers, which I think it's great to look around at a couple. I mean, we're not for everybody, and there's somebody out there for you. But if you look at the website, that's the first thing. I think the things to look for is that even if, whether if it's our firm or another interior designer, you have to consider that person and that firm as somebody that's going to, one, they're going to help you through a process, and you have to be able to allow that creativity to happen, so to speak. But if you are willing to kind of give into that and go with it, it can be really fun and a really cool adventure.
Hmm.
But if he tries to get in touch with us, I always ask them to kind of look at the website, make sure that they feel comfortable with what they see and that they like what they see, and don't get too hung up if if you're looking for a French country house and don't really see that exact thing on the website. Just know that as a designer, we can pretty much design in any genre. Really, it's just a matter of getting into your head and finding out what drives you and what you're looking for, and then allowing us to work with that. But and then
You
talk
made
to
a
talk,
you made
talk
a good point
yeah.
about it. Kind of brings up the trust issue because
Mhm.
you're really, as we talked about earlier, really getting intimate with your clients,
Yeah.
and it's a level of trust and capturing who they are and the essence of how they live and their lifestyle, and being able to bring that to life in a livable way.
Yeah, that's very true. There's projects that we do are deep from the standpoint of starting to finishing them.
Hmm.
Uh, it is a process, so or the process evolves. When the process evolves, it gets better, and the client has to trust who they hire, be it us or another designer, and allow them to kind of evolve as they get into it. And know this for me, anyway. I can't speak for everybody else out there, but I, as I get into it, I'm always trying to find ways to make it better, not cheapen it, not make it worse, not shortcut it. I'm always trying to find ways to just tighten it up and make it better. And if there's something in the middle, I'm not afraid to shift gears a little bit, and but I do start a project, and I have to, almost as I'm starting it, know what it's going to look like at the end. And then you kind of have to back into that. Well, a lot of clients can't see that. That's my job to see that. But I'm not afraid to think it's going to look like this, and then somewhere along the way it shifts gears a little bit, and it's maybe a little more this way or that way, but in the end you have to kind of trust and be willing to let go a little bit, and, not go out there and talk to 12 of your friends and ask their opinion,
Right.
because everybody has an opinion, and that's fine, but you need to kind of go with one person that's driving the train, so to speak. But so we like to be explored, looked at. I challenge people to look at the website, look at talk to other designers. A lot of it's about personality. If you like the person you're working with, then you're going to trust them better, and you're going to believe that they're doing the best thing for you. And I hope that that's what my clients always think and feel when I'm involved personally in their residential project and or commercially. And I think that's the best thing you can do. And then, our website's beasleyandhenley.com, and then, our phone numbers and everything's right on there. And if you like what you see, then pick up the phone and let's talk about it.
Perfect.
Yeah, easy. That's the best thing to do.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. Well, we are going to, excuse me, we're going to wrap it up for today. And again, I appreciate you coming on here with me, taking the time, especially with everybody coming back in your office today. I'm sure you're a little busy.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, you
And
bet.
I look forward to our next town visit Tuesday, and I thank you for tuning in today and visiting with us.
My pleasure.
Yep, thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Enjoy.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye.